All right, guys, don't quote me on this because basically what I want to say is I might end up making two videos for this. Okay, two videos because if I don't get to all of my favorite moment, I want to find this fight, like hopefully someone like bootleg this shit, record it or whatever, and they put it up on YouTube. And I can like rewatch this fight, not to fully rewatch it, but just to get like my favorite moments. I want to make another video called my favorite moments of the Canelo Alvarez Julio Cesar Chavez fight, because this, I mean, this shit is hilarious. Like that's what it was. It was hilarious. It was a hilarious fight. Okay, on every level they failed. Like, don't get me wrong, Canelo did his thing in there. It was, what? Let me backtrack a little bit and start over and say this. This was probably one of the most dominant performances that I've seen from Saul Canelo Alvarez, but there's always going to be an asterisk over it because of the whole catch weight thing. I mean, I've made videos in the past talking about catch weights and whatnot and my thoughts on them, and I personally, am I going to give Canelo Alvarez am I going to give him credit for this? Yes, because at the end of the day, these are two adults, two consenting adults that are agreeing to get in the ring with each other. Okay, they didn't have to do it. Okay, I used to say the same thing about Manny Pacquiao when people would compare the fights that he had with Floyd Mayweather. Even though Manny Pacquiao had a lot of catchweight fights, at the same time his opponents are agreeing to fight him at that weight. So it's not like someone's putting a gun to these guys' heads and saying you have to fight at this weight, otherwise we're going to shoot you. That's why I always respect. I remember there was like a little bit of controversy before the Manny Pacquiao. I think it was a Shane Mosley fight. And Manny Pacquiao was trying to get Shane Mosley to go down to a catch weight, or was a rehydration clause or something like that. And Shane Mosley was like, "No, fuck you. I'm not gonna go down anyway. You're gonna fight me at you're gonna fight me at this weight." That's what he said. And then the fight ended up happening at that weight. And fighters can do that. Fighters don't have to agree to catch weight. Look at Gennady Golovkin. I respect his decision not to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez at a catch weight. You can do that if you want to. That's your choice. You're all fucking adults. But at the same time, you gotta say, like, Julio Cesar Chavez, there will always be an asterisk on this performance for several reasons. Because of one, the catch weight. Two, it's like, I mean, like, the dude looked like a fucking ghost in there, man. Like, before the fight even started, the camera goes to Julio Cesar Chavez while both him and Canelo Alvarez are in the ring. Canelo Alvarez, he's looking warm, he's ready to go. And then you look at Julio Cesar Chavez, this guy looks like he already went through 5 rounds. I mean, he's looking to his guy, he's like, "Hey, give me some water." He's drinking water as they're calling his fucking name, he's already gasping for air, and, a punch hasn't even been landed. The first bell hasn't even rung. And this guy's already finishing water bottles in the ring. I was just like the moment I saw that, I kind of knew how this fight was going to go down. I just started laughing. I was like, oh, damn, this is... this guy's gonna get picked apart. I feel bad for all those outlets, those boxing outlets that have been saying, hyping up this fight, saying, "Oh man, Julio Cesar Chavez, I mean, he looked good, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I commend Julio Cesar Chavez for making the weight, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, like, that's a drastic weight cut. He's not used to fighting at this weight class, So what'd you expect, So, again, like, there's so many unknown. Like, this doesn't really answer. If they were to fight again and they're both at at a more like traditional weight class, I don't know, 168 or whatever, I do think that Canelo would still have beaten him. I do think he'd still have beaten him badly. But like, this performance, I think, after this one, I think Julio Cesar Chavez should retire. That's number one. He should have won out. He should have got himself knocked out, if not for the fans, because I feel bad for everybody that paid money. I didn't pay money to watch this shit. I made probably like one video about this fight like a month ago, I think. I remember I was saying something along the lines of, I was very okay with this fight happening. I wasn't certain about the whole, like, I don't think I was certain about the catchweight thing about this at the time, but I said it then, Canelo was going to beat him. I was pretty sure Canelo was going to beat him, but... I didn't make any more videos of it because I wasn't trying to hype this fight. I was not trying to hype this fight because I knew what the results were going to be. And, it's funny just looking at, like, some of these guys, they they're turning the whole YouTube page to the Canelo Alvarez Julio Cesar Chavez page, as if this was in comparison to like I don't know, like the whole fight was hilarious. Everything leading up to it, I'm talking about like the fight night anyway, to the entrance, to after the post fight, this was the best part. This is the best moment of the fight. I'm this spoiler. If I do make this video, this is probably gonna be like the moment I mentioned. But the best moment of the fight was by far the moment when they had they did a little fucking thing on the what's that fucking thing called? The TV screen or whatever on the top of the ring. And they showed Gennady Golovkin, and he's like, I want to fight Gennady Golovkin next or something like that. It was so fucking corny. Like, there was no energy for it whatsoever because of the fight. It was so fucking boring. And this goes to show you, just because, one guy is like throwing all these punches and whatnot, throwing flashy combinations, it does not make the fight exciting. It was a boring ass fight. Okay, I would much rather watch two boxers with, technical skill, to the brim, just doing shit like that, just boxing. I'd much rather all the fights that came before this were more exciting than this fight. It was not fun to watch at all. I almost turned the fucking fight off. Started doing something else, but I decided to just kind of tough it out because I thought that Canelo might have gotten a knockout. But do I still think that Canelo would beat the shit out of Triple G if they ever saw each other in the ring? Which they will be apparently in this September. Yeah, he will. He will beat the fuck out of Gennady Golovkin. As soon as Gennady Golovkin that'll be the last time. The night that Gennady Golovkin gets in the ring with Canelo Alvarez will be the last night that he will have an undefeated streak. Because after that night, it's gone. There will be no more. I don't know what his record is, but he will have a 1 on the loss section. Okay, Gennady Golovkin will get his ass ripped up, toe up, if he gets in the ring with Saul Canelo Alvarez. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on the fight. It was very lackluster, I was laughing the whole time, well, maybe not the whole time, but after round 5, not even round 5, round 4, I just started dying because it was just it just became comical. Fucking Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he had him on the ropes a few times, and he threw 2 punches, and he just back up. This guy told you, for Mexico, he showed no heart. Even though he might have been, exhausted or whatever, at least show some fucking heart, man. You didn't even show that. You backed away for the full fight. I don't know, man. It was ridiculous. It's unfortunate that he kind of I know he's not his father, but at the same time, it does look bad, for the whole family name. He didn't really represent your father well. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., the Mexican legend. But, it is what it is. Still, it was a boring fight, just because, no, it was boring. I'm not even going to say anything else. It was a boring fight, but, there were aspects about the fight that were just hilarious, like the commentating, some of the shit they'd say. God, they'd floor me. I love how Max Kellerman would say shit maybe I'll make a whole separate video about that. But I'm going to end this video off here. Casual fan. I always say you don't have to be an expert to give your opinion on something. And with that said, take it easy.